Call to order the April 12th, 2017 meeting of the Sacramento Regional County Sanitation District and the Sacramento Area Sewer District. Clerk.
Good morning. Directors Ashby, Bruins,
Present.
Frost, here, Guerra, Harris,
Here.
Hume, Kennedy,
Here.
Lee,
Here.
Morin,
Here.
Natoli,
Here.
Orozco,
Here.
Peters, Cerna,
Here.
McGarvey,
Here.
Villegas,
Here.
Warren, Carr, and you have a quorum.
Thank you very much. And would you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This meeting of the Sacramento Regional County Sanitation and Sacramento Area Sewer Districts is being broadcast live on Metro Cable 14, the local government affairs channel, on Comcast Consolidated Communications and AT&T UVerse cable systems. The meeting is closed captioned for our hearing impaired viewers and webcast at www.sacmetrocable.tv. Today's meeting will replay Sunday, April 16th at 6 p.m. on Channel 14. In accordance with Government Code 54952.3, compensation for a meeting of these legislative bodies is required to be verbally disclosed. The amount of $100 will be paid for each member participating today as a member of the Sacramento Regional County Sanitation District, and the amount of $100 will be paid for each board member participating today as a member of Sacramento Area Sewer District. Compensation for Sacramento County supervisors and City of Sacramento council members is paid to the county and city respectively to partially offset the cost of these governments. Compensation for other board members is delivered to the individuals. Members of the audience wishing to address the board should fill out a speaker identification form located at the back of chambers and hand it to the clerk. Please speak into the microphone when addressing the board and state your name for the record. Please silence your electronic devices at this time. Thank you.
Thank you. That takes us to Section 1, timed items, and item number 1. Madam Clerk.
Item number 1, acting as Sacramento Regional County Sanitation District. This is your district consent matter.
Move the item.
Morning, Chair. Unless there are questions, I'd request you for approval.
All right. It's been moved and seconded. Moved by Director Natoli, seconded by Director Cerna. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Thank you. Do we have public comment? I have no cards. Is there anyone in the public that would like to speak? Thank you. Item number 3.
Item number 3, acting as Sacramento Regional County Sanitation District, your district separate matter, Eco Water Project Quarterly Report.
Good morning. I'm Vic Chiotani. I'm the program manager for the Eco Water Project. I'd like to provide some highlights from the quarterly report. Give you an overview of the schedule and progress to date, some financial information, and then we'll talk about some of the project updates, challenges, and some of the upcoming milestones. This is a summary of the program schedule. The bars in green are the planning and design phase. The bars in blue and purple are the construction and commissioning phase. You can see we're in the closeout phase of a couple of the support projects, and we are heavily under construction in 4 very large process-related type projects, including the biological nutrient removal project, which will provide the facilities to meet our first compliance milestone date in May of 2021. You also see that we're under design on several projects, notably the tertiary treatment facilities project. That project will provide facilities to meet our second compliance date in May of 2023. We expect to have the tertiary treatment facilities design completed around the end of the year for early bid in 2018. This is a histogram of the program cash flow. The darker colors are actual expenditures, and the lighter colors are projected expenditures based on the most current schedules from our contractors in the program. You can see over the past three months a pretty sharp decline in the program expenditures, and this is due to the historic wet weather we've had over this past winter. You can also see that our program costs are going to significantly ramp up over the next 4 years, and those are directly related to the flow equalization project, BNR project, and start of the tertiary treatment facilities construction in 2018. And those high spending levels are directly related to the construction activities going to take place over the next 3 to 4 years. This is a graph showing our actual versus projected cost. The green bars are our actual costs. The area in orange are our projected expenditures. And you can see again, because of the decline in construction activities over the past several months, our program costs have somewhat tapered off again, due to the reduced construction activities. So just a few...
Director Cerna
yes.
has a question.
Yes.
Vic, if you can go back to that last graph, is there a way to add to that for the next update on the project? Some way to show us where we also lie on schedule, so in one image we get an idea of where we are actual to projected cost, but also how far behind or ahead of schedule we are?
Yeah, I'll come up with something that we can do that. Some of that is shown in one of the previous slides on the kind of overall schedule.
It would be one kind of dashboard image that gives us, I think, what's probably most important and of interest to the board in one
Okay,
slide.
I can do something that
Thank you.
will show that. So just a few general updates about the program. After this wet winter, as I mentioned, construction is really going to ramp up, notably the flow equalization and the biological nutrient removal project. We'll be placing a lot of concrete. We expect in excess of 1,000 cubic yards of concrete per day being placed. We're also are coordinating construction activities very closely with our existing plant operations. We have definitely needed to do some mitigation measures for risks because of the wet weather. However, we've been able to maintain plant operations and still meet the existing plant permits. We've, on the safety side, we've logged over 500,000 hours worked, and we've only incurred 5 lost time injuries, and those were minor type injuries. For the state revolving fund reimbursements, we've received over $200 million in reimbursement payments. And the disinfection chemical storage project, that's a project that is converting our existing gaseous disinfection system to a liquid system. We're in commissioning phase of that project, and that's really one of our first process heavy type projects. And so we're in commissioning. We expect to have commissioning on that project done by the end of May. This is an aerial after a series of storms through December and January. You can see the date January 11th, we had some aerials taken. And you can see the amount of water surrounding the plant, as well as a lot of water in the process area. And what you see is the flow equalization project has really been impacted by the wet weather. This is a more current aerial. You can see the area is somewhat drying out. The plant has got a lot of clay soils, and although it looks fairly dry on top, the soils are still very, very saturated. So just some updates on some of the projects. This is an aerial of a portion of the flow equalization project. And this project, what you see where there is actually partially treated wastewater there, we use those basins to shave peak flows into the plant. We can only process and treat a certain amount. The remaining peak flows need to get put into these storage basins. Unfortunately, these basins are also being worked on. That's part of the flow equalization project. So we've had to do a lot of extra work moving water around. Essentially, once those basins fill, we have to temporarily pump them back back into the plant influent and get them empty enough for the next storm. And so we've had to do that several times through the winter. This is a little more recent photograph, just showing the site a little more dried out, starting to work on placing concrete on the levees, just to continue work left off from last year. This is a little bit closer aerial, showing some of the mitigation measures that we've had to take. In those two basins right in the middle, you'll see 2 temporary cofferdams that we had to build. And the reason for that was to protect some of the existing work with critical path spillway work, and also allow us to divert peak flows, so they would flow from one basin on one side of those cofferdams, keep the back end dry to allow the contractor to continue work. This is a picture of what we call the flow return junction structure. This structure sits right on top of existing effluent lines that we discharge out to the river. The work required us making tie-ins to both of those effluent lines. We're planning another tie-in this July, and that will require us to divert all plant flows for about 36 hours. So we're really coordinating closely with our operations and identifying all the potential risks that could happen with that work. This is a photo of the nitrifying side stream treatment project. This project was probably the least impacted from the rains. They worked really hard prior to last winter to get a lot of the flat work done. They were able to pour walls during the winter season and have just about completed the concrete work for the basins on that project. This is part of the disinfection chemical storage project. This is our dechlorination system out by the river. That part of the project has been fully commissioned and turned over to our operations and maintenance group. This is the other part of the disinfection chemical storage project. It is on our plant site. This project is the chlorination system, and we are currently in commissioning activities, and we expect to have that fully commissioned by the end of May. This is a photo of the biological nutrient removal project. The area that you see in front of you is about 12 football fields in area, and you can see all the activity going on in the BNR project. They've actually started to place concrete slabs for the basins. This is a close-up showing some of the slab work that has been poured. They're actually starting to rebar and form the walls for pours coming up. This is probably one of the deepest excavations in the BNR project. This is what we call the flow splitter structure. It's part of the facilities that would feed the basins. Those pipes that you see are 72 inches in diameter. And to give you an idea of the size, if you look closely, you can see some iron workers on the left walking around on the rebar. So some of the program challenges that we're facing, with our experience with commissioning the disinfection chemical storage project, we've very quickly realized the amount of regional sand operations staff needed for those commissioning activities. And that was a relatively small project to commission. We have the nitrifying side stream treatment project, much larger biological type of process that's coming up. So we are looking at the timing of that and making sure that we have available regional sand operations staff available for those commissioning activities. As I mentioned, we are closely coordinating all of our construction activities with existing plant operations. It has been quite a challenge, and as I mentioned, we work from a risk perspective. We had identified risks, and we've actually had to implement some of those mitigation measures. And finally, we are continuing to push the design for the tertiary treatment facilities project. It's a very complex construction project, and we really need to take advantage of the 2018 construction season to make sure that that project stays on schedule. So these are some of the upcoming milestones. We'll be coming back to this board for final acceptance of the site preparation and miscellaneous site building projects. We will be bringing shortly to this board for approval a construction contract for the heavy equipment maintenance building contract. and we'll be completing commissioning of the disinfection chemical storage project by the end of May. This summer, I mentioned we will see a significant ramp-up of construction. We expect somewhere close to, at times, $1 million per day in being paid out to contractors. And finally, yes, this summer, we'll be looking at final acceptance of that disinfection chemical storage project. So in summary, safety always remains our top focus, and our safety record to date has been very good. And especially looking forward to this summer with all the construction activities, we definitely are staying on top of that. Construction coordination, plant operations, definitely a challenge. We've been very successful, but it is definitely challenging. And I mentioned we have a very large tie-in and diversion to the plant. And so we're coordinating very closely, identifying all the risks so that we can maintain our plant operations. And finally, even though we've had record wet weather, it has impacted some of the individual projects. But from a overall program-wise, we are still on schedule and on budget. With that, I have any questions?
Director Vegas.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just to say thank you very much for the presentation, Vic. A real tribute to the work that you, Prabhakar, and the rest of the staff have done to date. The projected costs versus actual continue to sort of follow a line that I think is good for the ratepayers at the end of the day. I mean, we've managed our projects well. The next 12 months will be very telling. I mean, I think where we sit now is a great place to be, but 12 months from now, as you said, after the heavy-duty lifting with all the construction coming, will be very telling as it relates to what ratepayers will see in their mailboxes as it relates to future fees. And so we've managed to keep those fees nice and low, based in large part by the good work that staff has been doing. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other questions, comments?
I'd like to add something when you're done with the comments. Go ahead.
Just a quick comment, just to hear that you're going to burn through $1 million a day. That's, certainly a lot of activity is shown here, but it's a lot of money to go through in a 24-hour period. That's on the average. I get it, but still, that's a pretty quick burn.
I agree. There is, if you look at the site this summer, and you could see the reason for that.
The beehive of activity, I get it, but that's just,
I agree.
We reflect on it. Thanks, Vic.
Any other questions of the board? Walker.
Just on that subject, so far we spent around $425 million on this project, and the ramp up is going to be coming here pretty quick here. One of the things I want to bring to you is we finished the execution of all the loan components with the state. We have a $1.6 billion loan commit from the state for this project. We only needed at this point $1.4 billion. So it was done. We have roughly $180 million or so that's uncommitted at this point, meaning that we haven't figured out a need for it. One of the things that I'm finding a bit of a disturbing thing for us is when the state made the commitment, they felt that they had the money, they would be able to support the project and do it, and also potentially meet other needs, because other entities want this low interest loan. I mean, we have 1.6 to 1.7% loan is what we have. State looks like they did not do their diligence well, and seems like they're telling some of the other applicants that they no longer have the money to fund the project. I am contemplating of course, working with the construction folks to say, I think given that where we are in the construction, there's a possibility we could unencumber probably $100 million, essentially tell them you can assign this to other entities because there's people that are being denied loans today. So that's what I'm looking at. I'd like to work with the state in the next 3 months to look at the possibility of saying, no, we don't need $1.6 billion. We could live with the 1.5 at this point, even though we only signed the loans for 1.4. They're still at 100 million as an excess surety for us. Release some of it back so that others can benefit from it. So I just wanted to let you know that that's something that we're contemplating. We do have enough cash as a cushion for us because of the rate increases that your board has been able to put in. So in case if there's any kind of shortfall on the loan side of things, we can fund with the cash side of things as well. So there's some cushions that I just wanted to let you know that I'm contemplating that.
Thank you. Questions? All right. Thank you very much, Vic. We're going to skip number 4 and put that toward the after 8, just in case somebody else comes. In the meantime, number 5.
Item number 5, acting as Sacramento Regional County Sanitation District, establishment of advisory committee to revise the non-rate and non-fee revenue use policy.
I don't have a presentation. I just wanted to kind of highlight what I'm asking your board to do, and also why I'm asking your board to do. The Regional SAN has non-rate, non-fee revenue, and so does SASD. Regional SAN has a bigger share of that. We generate this revenue from interest as well as lease payments that we get from some of our Bufferlands folk, and also when we sell gas to SMUD and water recycling, so the revenue comes in. This is considered to be a non-rate, non-fee revenue, and is available for use for purposes that there's a little bit more leeway in using that revenue, whereas the rate revenue, we have to make sure it's compliant with Prop 218, and also the fees, we have gone on Code 66,013. So there's some restrictions on those kinds of revenues. Your board has historically used this revenue to subsidize low-income ratepayers. Today, we subsidize in the tune of $150 a year, roughly about 35% to 40% of the rate payments on the Regional SAN side. And that takes about $2 million a year today. And our board also have incentivized the industrial customers in terms of giving rate breaks to them over the years, although those breaks are sort of gradually fading away. So in a heyday when interest rates were good, we had substantially more revenue, more in the $15, $20 million range a year. But with the interest rates dropping close to next to nothing, we were down to $3 million, and I think they're gradually coming back up. So the thing that I would like your board to consider, especially in light of the adoption of the strategic plan, where the Regional board, SAN would want to be a partner in the economic vitality of the region, as well as a partner in making a good environmental steward for the region. There are opportunities that we may want to play a role in financially using some of the revenue. Currently, the policy, the non-rate, non-fee revenue policy, only allows us to do 2 things. One is to pay for the lifeline incentive. The second is to do the industrial incentive. Those are the only 2 things that are allowed under the policy. Since the policy was adapted, it was adapted a long time ago, but was changed in 2013, your board has, just on a couple of occasions, put some money. For example, the Yolo County Board cleanup, there's $25,000 that your board authorized, as well as the Bufferlands, where the setting money for the Bufferlands, where the historical structures were going to be improving and then making it available for public use. It's time for your board to form a subcommittee to guide the staff in terms of what other areas that we could make investments, strategic investments, using these funds, mindful of the revenue as well as projections and so forth. That's what the purpose of this subcommittee is. And I've asked for 5 members for the subcommittee, and my recommendation would be is to at least 1 from each jurisdiction. I realize that there are 9 jurisdictions that are being represented on the board. Unfortunately, we can't have 9 for the sake of having a quorum in these ad hoc committees. And also, it's difficult to schedule meetings when you have too many members on the subcommittee, and so it could kind of drag on a little bit longer. So with that, I wanted to look to Rick Heyer, who is stepping in for Lisa, to see if there's anything that he wanted to add.
No, just I would note that if this committee is an ad hoc committee for a limited purpose with a limited subject matter that it's considering, it need not comply with the Brown Act. That doesn't mean you could comply with the Brown Act if you so choose and hold open meetings, but you aren't required by the Act for that kind of body.
Thank you. Director Harris?
Yeah, so Prabhakar, the committee would then, with any recommendations, they would bring those back to the full board, correct?
That is correct. So the plan is after every committee meeting that we would report out as a summary, And the final recommendations would come to the full board, and the full board would approve as a policy change.
So, Mr. Chair, that being said, I'd be happy to volunteer to represent the city of Sacramento if it goes that direction.
I will pass that on to Mr. Carr when he returns. Any other questions?
I've got a...
Director Frost.
I'd also like to volunteer.
Director Bruins.
Me too.
Got it. Any other questions, comments, volunteers?
How long do you think, how often and how long do you think it'll go?
I'm guessing 3 to 4 meetings, probably over the next.
That's a week, right?
What was that?
I said 3 or 4 meetings a week.
No, total of 3 to 4.
Is that what you didn't volunteer, Don?
No, that's what, yeah.
The
So you need to
total of
fine
3 to 4
print.
meetings is what.
Over a period of how long?
I think maybe 3 to 4 months. It's more of a
Okay.
scheduling if we can.
Okay,
it's
just to give
nothing
me an
like that.
idea, yeah.
Yeah.
Director Lee.
I'll volunteer Councilman Hume. We need representation. I'm sure he'd be eager to step up, but between me and him, we'll figure something out. But I'll push him first. How's that?
Okay. Any other questions, comments, volunteers?
I have 4 members so far, so if there's one
Well,
more.
the chair very well may want to be on that, so I think that's probably. Director Villegas, you're going to make this controversial?
No, I wasn't going to volunteer myself. I was going to nominate somebody else, but if you're going to do it, that's 5, right? It's sufficient. I was going to nominate Commissioner Roscoe.
We,
And I'd like to counter nominate Supervisor Villegas. I respectfully decline, but thank you.
This would be a bad meeting to miss, wouldn't it?
okay.
Well,
Yeah.
we have 4, and then we'll talk with the
Yeah, we'll have
Director Carr.
Yeah, Director Carr, the chair, will address this when he gets back. I think it's more
And we'll reach out
appropriate that he
to.
do so.
Thank you for those that volunteered, and appreciate your help. And I'll set up meetings working with your staff.
In the meantime, you need action to actually establish the committees. Is there a committee? I mean, is there a motion?
I think it's basically just. I don't know if there's.
Well, the recommendation is for us to
Councilor,
establish
an
a
action
committee.
needed.
We need to vote
It's
today?
better to take the action to establish it.
Yeah. Is there a motion?
I'll move.
Second.
Moved by Harris, second by Bruins. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Thank you. All right, item number 6, 7, and 6 and 7 are consent matters of both Regional SAN and SASD. Is there a motion?
I move approval
Second.
of this consent.
Second.
Motion by Bruins, second by Natoli. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Item number 8.
If the directors don't have anything, I have a few things that I want to bring up. First of all, the parking situation, I hope you have all received the cards, the new cards, and entered through the right entrance, and it worked. I'm seeing the nodding of the head, so which means it worked. We do have spots from 91 through 95, and there needs to be additional spots that are going to be added. But when you enter through this entrance, if I see, looks like some people are parking when they're not supposed to be parking those spots, and maybe there's might be even overnight campers there. So, what the parking folks have told me is, if they're full, any vacant spot in covered area is fine. So, just go ahead and park in those areas. And they assured me that generally there are enough spots available for our folks. So that's the situation there. There were questions, a couple of questions came in terms of, if you remember, I brought up the river cleanup, the regional SAN contributions, and how we can support with the river cleanup area with respect to water quality issues. There was a question came from Director Harris's office, and also Director Cerna was asking just before the board meeting. I thought folks would be interested. Staff have met with the county of Sacramento folks, the city of Sacramento folks, and RD 1000 folks who are somewhat involved in cleanup around the river areas. There is a funding request that came from the county, and I think we will be entertaining that when in the course of this non-rate, non-fee revenue disposition item. we're going to reach out furthermore if there are other avenues and the parties that are involved to see how we can all bring together, recognizing fully that it's not regional sands shouldn't be driving this, but yet we're trying to sort of bring folks together and then see if there's a way we can create the framework. So those are some of the discussions we're going to be holding, and then ultimately bring any funding decisions back here to the board for approval. So that's one thing. The other thing I want to report to your board is last Friday, we had Central Contra Costa Sanitation District, short name Central San. Their board members, 3 of the 5 board members came for the tour of the treatment plant, as well as some of their executive staff. Suppose there were supposed to be 10 of them to come for the tour, and only 5 showed up because of the weather issues and so forth. They had a quorum, so we had to post the tour on our, the plant property. We had a very good tour. Ruben and I, we also talked about the governance issues in terms of they're kind of on the early edge of the large construction program. They wanted to see how we're doing. At the end of it, they were very appreciative and very impressed with how things are being handled, both in terms of the governance issues as well as how the plant is being run. Theirs is about maybe 1/3, 1/4 the size of our facility in Martinez, and they were just awed by what happens at the treatment plant. And the 3 folks that came in as the directors, 2 of them are engineers and who've been in the business for a long time and have gone around and seen different treatment plants. And one actually was an operating manager in that facility that turned around and ran and won and got onto the board. So these 3 board members know wastewater treatment well and have been exposed to it. And that's the comments that we've gotten from them. Just wanted to report back that to you. That's all I have.
Thank you. Any questions? Are there any directors that would have any points for future consideration or discussion? Thank you. Next, we have item number 4, which we still do not have.
We have item number 9. We can take that.
Yes, but I was going to do this before SASD because not everybody's SASD.
Okay.
So number 4, we don't have the requisite number of members here today, so is there a motion to continue?
So moved. Second.
Moved by Cerna, seconded by McGarvey. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? And item number 9 is a consent item for SASD. Is there a motion?
Excuse me, Mr. Chair.
I'm sorry. Director Frost.
Chair Kennedy, I need to recuse myself from this item due to a conflict with a contribution within 12 months.
Very good. Thank you.
I'll move consent.
Moved by Bruins, seconded by the chair. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Miscellaneous items, we have communications received and filed. They have been received and filed. And looks like the next meeting of the SASD Financing Authority has been canceled. So our next meeting is when?
April 26th.
April 26th. With that, if there's no other questions or comments, adjourned.